All right. A couple more minutes, maybe another minute, and then we'll just get started and go from there. Gabby, if you want to just throw the agenda up.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Perfect. Perfect. Well, I think just in the interest of time, we'll just get started. Like I said, I wasn't expecting a giant turnout today since we had a really pretty big one yesterday. So I think the majority of the folks were here yesterday, which is all good. I want to start off just by saying I don't know who has heard about the. Oh, we got another person hopping in. Um, if anyone here has heard about the freeze on federal grants, that doesn't affect this program. All of our grants, our the WAM program is 100% state funded. So as of right now, that does not affect us and our program at all. If anything changes, you all will be the first to know. But right now we are full steam ahead, and I don't foresee anything like that changing at this point. So with that being said, welcome. Thank you all for being here. My name is Brian Bales. I'm a program manager for Wellness Arts in the Military here at your Washington State Art Commission. Super excited to chat with all of you today about the Self-Directed Art Practice Grant. Congratulations for being selected as grantees. This is it's a huge deal, and I mean, I think I speak for our whole staff when we're excited to see the work that you guys do. This is far and away my favorite grant, my favorite thing that we do in our program. Honestly, in the agency as a whole, it's unique. No one else is doing this program, doing a grant like this in the country that I'm aware of. So, and if they are doing it, it's because they stole it from us. We were doing it first. Um, so yeah, I introduced myself. Dania, if you want to introduce yourself to the people here.
Thank you, Brian. My name is Dania Baysubanova, and I'm the program specialist for the BAM program, and I'm happy to have you here today. Gabby?
Hello, I'm Gabby, and I'm the administrative assistant for the WAM program. Also happy to be here today, and I'll be discussing the payment process.
Perfect. So as you can see, we've got just a little bit to go over today. We have Luce on the call as well. Luce, if you want to say hello really quick.
Sure. Hi, everyone. My name is Luce Thompson. I'll be your teaching artist for design thinking, and I'll explain that in a little bit.
Yeah. So we've got everyone here today. We really kind of the importance and the purpose of today is to really go over like the grant management portion of the SAP grant, talking about the cycle, the payment process. We're going to talk about the what to do once your artwork is finished, and then also talk about the design thinking course that um, Luce is going to be doing, which is just a fantastic course. And I think all of you are really, really going to enjoy it and get something out of it. So that was far and away like a huge positive that we had last year. And it was important for us to bring her back to continue this. So first off, at the end of this, our hope is, when it comes to the class and when the class starts, Luce is the teaching artist and the instructor, and she'll be able to answer questions about the content and the material that she's teaching when it comes to the actual grant and the payment schedule, and if you need to change up an item in your budget, whatever that might be. Those are questions that myself, Gabby, and Dania can answer. So just please keep that in mind as we move forward. Luce she doesn't know those questions. So with those types of questions, please come to us for those. So I'm going to turn it over to Dania, who's going to talk about the grant cycle for you all.
Thank you, Brian. I'll go with you over the grant cycle so that you know what to expect and when. So by now, all the contracts should be signed. If you haven't signed your contract or you don't remember, please reach out to us and we'll check for you. Please make sure to keep your contract and refer to your contract whenever you have any questions, because all of the terms of the grant program are included in the contract. In the meantime, please obtain your SWB number. It's a state vendor number, which you would need for us to process your payments. We won't be able to pay you without the number. So it would be good if you receive it now before we start the payment process so that we have it on file when we start paying. So design thinking course starts in February next week. Please look for an email from Luz with the instructions about the course. And we will be able to start your payments after the first class of the design thinking course. Please expect to receive an email from us with the link to the form on the submittable account, where you would be able to request your first payment, which is going to be 50% of your grant. It's going to be a simple form where you provide us information an update about what you've done. It could be anything like I've looked up, materials to purchase, or I started my project, and we would be able to process your payment. After that, Gabby will talk a little bit more in detail about processing payment so that you know how it's made and what to expect. So after that, you will be attending classes with Luz for 8 weeks, and you'll be working on starting your projects. And Luz is going to coordinate you on your projects, and you would be able to ask her questions. After the project ends in about 8 weeks, the classes end in about 8 weeks, we'll have another payment form available for you. It's going to be in around end of March, where we'll also ask you for an update, and also we'll be able to pay you the second portion of your grant. You will be able to keep working on your grants up until June 30th. So we expect that you expend all the funds and complete your projects by the June 30th. You won't be able to, to use your funds beyond that date. So make sure you use all of your funds because it's the end of fiscal year for us, and we need to complete all the payments. The payments could go over June 30th, but you have to complete your grants. But we will be already paying you before that. So you should be able to spend your grant money before June 30th. So we are also expecting you to submit final reports to us, and it is a requirement within your contract. Please try and submit your final reports by July 31st. We'll have them available for you sometime in June. And then it's important that you submit your final reports so that we could have data on your outcomes of your program. And Brian, did you want to add something?
Yeah, I was just gonna say final reports are super important because that's how we prove what we do and how our program is effective. It's how we continue to get funding from the state to do programs like this, and this is something that we want to keep around for a long time. So we need your guys' help in doing these final reports. We make them as quick and easy and painless as possible. So please fill them out.
Thank you,
Brandy.
Is there any way we can get a copy of some of the questions that are on the final reports? I know last time I was scrambling at the end to figure out how many people had actually seen my paintings because I didn't collect that data. I didn't know to collect it ahead of time.
Yeah, that we'll get that out. We'll try and get that out as early as possible to you guys. So our final reporting has kind of changed a little bit as we have to collect. There's a thing called FDR reports that we have to collect. And so we will get those numbers out to you guys, or not the numbers, but the questions and everything that we need as early as possible so you guys can plan accordingly for them.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you. Any other questions about the grant cycle? All right. I just wanted to add a few words about how this grant is managed in terms of who is responsible for what. So three of us, Brian, Gabby, and I, are responsible for the management of the grant. So any questions related to payments, SWB numbers, budgets, any questions related to the grant management, please refer to us. Luz wouldn't have answers to that questions. Any questions that's relevant to the design thinking course, the content, the workflow, the schedule, technical questions, they can go to Luz. Brian, do you want to add something?
Yeah, I just have one more thing to add on top of that. So for some of the folks who were in the grant last year, so Brandy is aware, we have had opportunities for grantees to be able to showcase their work. A couple examples that we've had is we've had artists show up and set up tables at the Lakewood Summerfest, as well as we had an entire art gallery of SAP grantees like yourselves at our annual Serving Those Who Serve conference that we partner with WDVA and Employment Security Department to host. As of right now, we don't have anything in the works yet, but that is something that we want to do. I don't have an update on Serving Those Who Serve for 2025 yet. But as soon as we have information on when these are going to be, what types of things, we'll be sure to let all of you know. Any and all are welcome to come and show their work. We definitely want you guys to be able to show your work. So Serving Those Who Serve was really neat because we had an art gallery of 9 SAP grantees showcasing their work for about 400 folks from across the state attending this conference, and they all got to come in and talk to the artists. I mean, Brandy, you were there. Can you say a little something about showing your work at Serving Those Who Serve?
Yeah, it was great. We had somebody did a tiara. There was the son of a veteran who had some 3D printing little soldiers, I think, that he made. There was somebody did a coloring book, a graphic novel. So there was a wide variety of different, was that you? There was a wide variety of different types of art that hadn't even considered before I got to the grant. And there was a big, it was like a convention center, and everybody who was there to take classes to help serve veterans, they got to walk around and look at all of our artwork, and everybody was very positive and receptive. And we had the opportunity to take some classes at the event as well. So that was really nice.
Perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, so we want opportunities. We're going to be looking for opportunities for you all to be able to show your work and show the stuff that you guys have going. So stay tuned for that. And we will, as soon as we have something, we'll be sure to let all of you know. So that was it. Thanks, Dania.
Thank you, Brian. Thank you, Brandy. It was great to see your artwork, impressive artwork during the gallery. And also, that was a great chance for the grantees to showcase, not just to showcase their art, but also to help us outreach to other prospective applicants who've seen the art and were interested in participating. So that was great. Gabby, will you continue with the grant process?
Yes. So I will be going over the payment process, and that includes the approval process and payment schedule. So first, the approval process. Payments must be completed through a request process, and that includes payment requests that are through Submittable. So how you submitted your application for the SAP grant is also how you will complete these request forms. And the first, well, actually, I'm going a little bit too much ahead. That's the payment schedule. But just in terms of the approval process, we do look over these request forms every Tuesday and Thursday morning. So that means that if you submit it on a Monday or a Wednesday, we won't look at it until the next day. So just keep that in mind. But once it is approved by Brian and then goes to the ops team and is approved by them, it can take up to 30 days. So just keep that in mind. Make sure to submit in a timely manner. But you can pre-purchase your materials and then use your reimbursement as a way to get your funds back. And lastly, you do need a statewide vendor number. It is required for the payment itself. So if you don't have that yet and need more information about that, you can email me at, most of you know it, but it's gabriella.smith@arts.wa.gov. And then for the SAP grant payment schedule, can you all hear me? Good, is that good? Okay, I just wanted to be sure. I apologize. Okay, so for the SAP grant payment schedule, the first payment is going to, or the first request form is going to be available Friday 7th, February 7th, and that's after the first week of the design course. So once you complete that first class, initially, that's when you're able to then request your first portion of your payment. And then you will then receive a secondary project update payment form, and that's going to be at the end of that design course 8-week period. So towards the end of March is when you're going to get that second payment request form. It's going to look very similar to the first update form. It's going to have a few questions about where you're at in your project, and you don't have to be done by that 8 weeks. You can simply say, you know, I'm still working on it and so forth. But once you have that, then you can also submit your second payment, and each one is 50% of the cost. And yeah, is there anything, Brian or Dania, you want to add to that?
Yes. So I think it said on the slide, it takes up to 30 days to get reimbursed to get those funds. So if it's under 30, if you haven't heard anything from under, and it's been under 30 days, give it some time before you hit us up asking where the funds are, because it sometimes it takes less. Anything less than 30 days is like, you know, that's finding that lost Halloween candy in your pocket, in your jacket pocket that you inadvertently find. So yeah, plan on it being those 30 days. And then on those reimbursement forms, we don't ask for receipts on there. But you don't need to send us the receipts, but you do need to keep them and have record keeping for, I believe it's up to 7 years, 6 or 7 years.
I think it's 6, but yeah.
6, thank you. Yeah, so make sure you're keeping all of your receipts, tracking all of your expenses, and holding on to them, because sometimes audits happen. So that's all I'll say about that.
Thank you. And lastly, just a few key notes about it. So like I said, timely submission will ensure that the process is smooth. And then I also wanted to make sure you all know that the grant award is taxable, categorized as taxable income. So you might receive a 1099, correct, Brian?
You will
You will,
receive a
yeah,
1099.
you will.
Yeah. And
Sorry.
I've had people be upset with me in the past about that, but there is literally nothing that I can do. That is just the way that all like state grants work here in Washington, and I think everywhere. So yeah, there's nothing that I can do about that. I wish there was, but you will get a 1099. This is counted as categorized as taxable income.
Thank you. And that is it for the payment process. So I can go back to the agenda
Perfect.
and see where we are.
All right.
So, yeah.
Luce, you are up with the design thinking.
All right. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much. And congratulations to all of you for being grant recipients. I am slowly getting over the flu, so please forgive my voice. The design thinking course will be 8 weeks long. And it'll be where you can either come in on Tuesday or Thursday. I want to say from the start that if you can't make it on a Tuesday, and that's the group that you're normally in, and you have to come on a Thursday, that's fine. We did that so that there is that level of flexibility. I will send out an email tomorrow. It will come from Imagery Artworks at Gmail. And that is a welcome email. It'll have a syllabus, a welcome packet, and a workbook included. In the email, please do me a favor and print out the workbook prior to the start of class. We will be working out of that workbook for the duration of the 8 weeks. Once the 8 weeks is complete, we will also have an individual session. So that's where I'll meet with each of you for about 30 minutes just to make sure we've got a lot of the stuff we went over in design thinking, but also your artist statement, your artist bio, your description of work, of whatever your project is, all in preparation for that final report for the Washington Art Commission. And throughout design thinking, you not only have the workbook, but I've created a virtual classroom that you'll have as a reference. And I really look forward to working with all of you. I think that kind of covers it. The rest of the information will be in the email that'll go out Wednesday, and then we'll get started on week 1 and kind of go through the design thinking process together. So thank you so much.
Perfect. And then I just had 2 quick things. First off is the doodle survey reminders. So you should have received an email regarding the doodle poll, and that's to schedule what dates you want to do the class. So if you could complete that, that would be greatly appreciated. I think many of you already did, but that's just a quick notice for if you haven't, so that Luce can know when you have decided to be in the class. And secondly is logos. So I have received a few emails from people who are already wanting to be at art events or be in art exhibitions, and they're asking about having ArtSWA's logo represented with their artwork. Because a part of the grant is if you complete a part of your project and want to have it presented, we ask kindly that you include representation of ArtSWA, and that includes a logo. So what you would want to do is just email me and ask for those logos, and I can send them to you directly. You can either make it a sticker and have it as a sticker, but you can also just print it, have it as an art tag on the side. People have chosen many different ways to include our logo into the work, but that is to say though, your artwork is yours. So we're not taking any, ownership of it. It's mainly just to represent ArtSWA and then kind of spotlight that you are a SAP grantee. But if Brian, you want to say something about that?
I mean, I think you said it pretty well. We're not, you guys own your work. We just ask that you credit us with helping make the project happen. That's essentially it. So when folks ask, you let them know that you know, we're able to make this work because of funding from us. That's it.
And those are the two notices I have. So it looks like it's Q&A time. So if
Perfect.
anyone has any questions, I will go to the chat.
Perfect. Yeah. Can you, you can exit out of the screen too. So yeah. Any questions from anybody? Give it going once, going twice. Well, hey, and that's okay if nobody has questions. If questions come up later, feel free to give myself, Gabby, Dania, you can give us a call, shoot us an email. Otherwise, welcome. And I can't wait to see the work that you all do, and enjoy the rest of your week. So, and yeah, looking forward to connecting. Oh yeah, Brandy, you have a question. What's up?
I have another, I don't know, the group that we had with the grant last year, somebody in the group set up a like a Facebook page where we could get together and talk with each other. And since they weren't like, they were student like grantees, not official. So I don't think that page is still available, but I wonder if maybe somebody could set that up as well, because that was helpful. People would say, hey, did you get your email yet? Like, all this stuff is ready.
I love that. If you guys want to make that happen, so I won't, at ArtSWAT, we're not going to do it because we don't want it to become like, then it becomes official state records, everything like that. But you guys as individuals, I encourage, you know, I think that's one of the great parts of the class is being that cohort model and being able to connect with each other as artists and as people. So yeah, please encourage that. And you know, maybe you guys can get that going when the classes start next week. So yeah, I think that's great.
Yeah, that's something I'll mention, and I won't be the one to start it, but I'll mention that if someone wants to start either like a WhatsApp chat or a Facebook group, I think it'd be a great idea for y'all to communicate that way. And I did want to mention, so just so there's no surprises, the workbook is approximately 73, I think, pages. Please do not feel like you have to print it out in color. I used minimal colors in there so you can print it out in black and white. Just because we have people that are coming back from last year, it is a very different workbook than it was last year. So I took a lot of the extra pages out and put those as a optional to print. And so the workbook is just what we're actually doing in class. So please go ahead and print that out before we start. Yes, you have a question?
Is this, hi Luz.
Hi.
Is this required that it needs to be printed out? It's like quite a bit, 73 pages, and I don't have access just to a printer like that I can, it's just a lot of pages. Is there any other way to, or like electronic version that I can have and then draw on paper if it's needed in response to the prompts?
So so yes, you'll get everything digitally. What is an option is if you are able to maybe just work from pen and paper until you get that first release of the funds from the grant, and then use that to assist with the printing. That would probably be best because the worksheets are designed where you can work right from them, but to have to draw everything or write everything down on a separate piece of paper, there might not be adequate time during the class to do that.
Okay.
I would say do the best you can. If you're able to print it, please do. And you know, if it's a resource thing, do the best that you can. That's what I would say. Yeah.
And as Luz said, you can use the grant funds to to print the book.
100%. So. Cool.
Okay, thank you.
Of course. All right. Well, if there's anything else, if there's not anything else, you guys enjoy the rest of your day, and let us know if you have anything else. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Brian, Dania,